Welcome back to Trouble One, everybody. We got a little maintenance to do on the Suburban today. I got to put in some new headlights. I've been running OPT7 LED headlights for 4 or 5 years now. A long time. I found them on Amazon years ago. Got some of the bulbs and been really happy with them. I've been running them in the Suburban. I've been running them in my red Sierra for a long time. They've been great, but here recently, one of the low beams has started to just fade out and basically is non-existent. The other one's still okay. The high beams are still okay, but I was getting ready to get some new LED bulbs, and Auxito reached out. They just happened to randomly contact us and said, hey, can we send you some headlights, do a review? And I was like, sure, I need some. So they did send me these for free. These are the Q16 model. These are the low beams. If I like them, I may get some high beams as well. These Suburbans and most of the GMs in this era, the GMT 800s, have low beam here, high beam here. So they're two separate bulbs. And I've also done a conversion on this. You can look up videos on how to do this. It's really easy. But typically your low beam goes off when you turn on your high beam. I've swapped these to where the low beam stays on when the high beam comes on. Super nice, adds a lot more light, especially for off-road stuff. So I've been very happy with the light output on these, but my old LEDs have faded and they're almost gone. So we're gonna put these in today and see how they work. Supposedly they're really bright. So let's find out. So let's see what we got. I haven't even opened this up yet. Let's see what we got in here. Should be 2 light bulbs. Very exciting. Ooh. They sent us white gloves. That's over my head. All right, here are the bulbs. We've got 2 LED bulbs in here. I guess you're supposed to wear gloves when installing these. I might not. So these are super easy to swap out. Pull a pin, and bam, the light housing's out. So the center one here is our high beam, and the outside one is our low beam. So we're gonna pull out the low beam bulb and swap them out. The most annoying thing about these housings on most of these, you can get the high beam bulb out just by twisting and pull it out, but the low beam with the LEDs, because how big they are in the back, you can't just swap the bulb without taking the actual back part of the housing apart, which is kind of annoying, but that's just the way it is. So we'll take it apart and swap it out. All right, I got the housing apart now, so we're just gonna pull the old bulb out, get it out of here, and see if the new ones fit. They've got a little fan right here and some cooling fins, which is good because they need to cool off. They'll probably still get hot if they're really bright. A lot of times they do, but let's see if it fits. There we go. Piece of cake. Let's see if the housing fits back around it. Looks like. All right, I'll put it back together. And we'll stick the housing back in and plug them up. The nice thing about these others, these had a driver outside of the light. These have the driver in the light, so that will probably make more heat in the light, but we'll see how they hold up. All right, I'm gonna turn the lights on and just compare the old good functional light I have to the new one. Theoretically, this should be way brighter. We'll find out. Definitely brighter. That looks about like the one that was broken now compared to the other. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but the new one on the left is quite a bit brighter than the old one, which it should be because that old one is much older. I'm going to swap the other one out. It's not so much different that it looks like it's going to be terrible going down the road. It probably is going to be bright for oncoming traffic, but we'll see. We'll see how much people flash their lights at us when we're driving down the road. I will say this thing has quite the loud fan. I'll see if you can hear this. I don't know if the mic will pick that up, but it's a loud fan. All right, I'm going to swap the other one out real quick, and then we'll go compare it to my truck, take it for test drive, and see how it looks on the road. All right, both bulbs are in. Go hit the road and see how it looks. See if we can see now. All right, here's what they look like just driving down the road. They are nice and bright. I need to adjust my housings a little bit now that I actually have decent bulbs in them. My left housing's pointed down significantly more than my right housing, so I need a little bit of adjustment, but they're looking pretty good. All right, here's a nice shot down the road. That's low beams, then that is low plus my old high beams, my Auxito high beams. So it puts out a lot of light. And then if you throw on the Pathfinder lights as well, ditch lights, we can put out quite a bit of light with this thing. All right, I'm going to compare this same stretch. Okay, there's low beams. I'm going to go get my truck and compare this same stretch to the truck with the old lights. All right, here's the same stretch of road in my red truck. This is essentially what we had before in the Suburban. These housings are pointed down a little bit more, but that's low beam, and that's with high beams added. And you can see the driver's side is really dim. That's what we were dealing with in the Suburban as well, because the one bulb was going out. All right, now here is one of our other Suburbans with halogens in it, so you can kind of see the difference. That's low beam, there's high beam, and this does not have the high and low beam combined setup. This is just low beam and high beam. So you can kind of see the difference there. All right, here's the exact same stretch of road, so you can kind of see them side by side and what all three of them look like. All right, that wraps up my little install review. Thank you to Auxito for sending these out. These are the Q16 bulbs. I'm really happy with them. They did send these to me. I didn't pay for these. They gave these to me to try out. I'm happy with them. They're exactly what I needed. I'm going to take my one good old LED bulb and go put it in my truck because it needs one. We're not fancy around here. We drive old vehicles and we get what we can and make things work. So I'm going to take this good bulb I took out. I'm going to go put it in my truck and replace the one bad bulb in there. I'm going to leave the existing ones I have in the Suburban. If one of those goes out, I'll probably try some of the high beams of these and see how they work when I need them. Until then, I'm not going to spend money on it. This is what I needed, and it's been great. So thank you to Auxito for sending them out. We'll put them to good use out in the woods somewhere. So that's all I got for today. This is the most unscientific test ever too, because I got different housings in all three vehicles, different bulbs, different angles. If you want scientific, go watch someone that does scientific stuff. I'm just here for practical stuff. This is just how the country boy does things. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.